Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure everyone in the UK knows what this is. It's a Cadbury cream egg wrapper. And today I thought it would be nice to make some nails from acrylic. I have three colours here. I've got Snow White, I've got some chocolate colour and Sunny Days, which is a lovely luscious yellow, just like the inside of this cream egg. I ate one of these delicious doodads this morning. Oh my god, they are so nice. This box has got three different kinds. So usually the normal wrappers look like this. I have kind of sat on this wrapper today because I'm going to show you how to encapsulate it in a nail and build it up. So as always guys, sit back, relax, grab a coffee. Remember, get your coffee, put your feet up and enjoy my video. The nails that I'm going to be using today are the E-Nail Couture Oval 123 Gold Gel X, and the reason that I'm using these is simply because we're going to do them on a little nail stand. I decided that these are most likely to be egg-shaped. Perfect for little cream eggs, so it's just going to give me an area to work with acrylic. But normally if I was doing this, I would sculpt them onto the nail with a nail form, or I would just add a tip and go over the natural nail with the acrylic. So I'm not going to get into all that application hoo-ha today, but I do want to show you how I did this. Now, this is the first time doing this, so I'm really just having a go. Why not? It's something to do. I have nothing else doing on this Monday afternoon. So yeah, I thought I'd give this a go. I've been wanting to do this design for a while, and since I was eating the cream egg this morning, I thought, fabulous, let's do a nail. Let's do some nails and see how we go. So first up, I'm just selecting 5 nails because I do want these to be wearable, so I'm actually doing them in my sizes. So yeah, who knows, I might put them on at Easter. So we've got a little pinky here, the thumbnail is already on, that's the middle finger, first finger and ring finger. There we go. So let's get started. So first up, we're going to have to prep these nails. You can't just put acrylic on top because it won't stay on, it'll just pop off. So the best way to do this is either to buff the nails or go over them with your little nail drill and just buff the surface to take away the shine. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Very quickly is just go over them. Oh, I've got that a bit fast, my goodness me. I want to slow that down a bit. There we go. So I'm just going to buff over the surface of the nail and make them a bit less shiny. So yeah, just quickly do that. So I'm not going to be making the white cream egg, although I'm going to use the paper from the white cream egg because I always have to have the white one. I love a white cream egg. How do you like yours? Do you like the milky one, or do you prefer the caramel type, or what do you like? I just love cream eggs. And I can never wait until after Christmas when they're available again. They're only available up until April, and then Cadbury's take them off sale. But I'm quite lucky because my son lives near Bourneville, which is Cadbury World, which is where they make a lot of the chocolate treats, and they sell them in the little shop, and so I can kind of get them all year round, anytime I like. So yeah, it's quite nice. But cream eggs, as I say, they do come a bit scarce as the year goes on because they're using old stock really, and they take them off the market around about April. So it's just to use whatever's left in the shops you can get. Or you can buy them direct, I suppose, on like Amazon and places like that. But yeah, so generally I go for the normal cream eggs, but this time today I thought I would try a white one, and oh my god, it was lush, lush to lush, lush, lush. So on this nail, on the thumbnail, I want to take some of this paper and I want to use it in the design to show exactly what it is. But first up, what you need to do is you take a non-acid primer and prep the nail just like you would with gel nails, when you're doing gel. So again, prep and then prime. So we'll just do these two nails for the meantime. So yeah, a little bit of nail prep, let that dry, and then go over it with the primer. Usually we recommend a non-acid primer just to get good adhesion on the nail. Again, I'm just using E-Nail Couture because it's the easiest and closest to hand today. As you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I'm half packed. We had some positive viewings on Saturday, and so we're praying that we may have sold our house this time. And if that's the case, then we can go forward and realistically start looking at where we're going to live. So, first of all, what I like to do when I'm doing acrylic is get my monomer ready. I've got my little pad to wipe off my brush. I've got a lot of monomer in this dish. The brushes I'm using today is the CJP Gemaport brush. It's a beautiful brush, look at that. But it is a big one. So, you know, it depends on what you like. You have to burp your brush, get all the air bubbles out of it, and do all that jazz, and make sure your brush is clean. Wipe it off on the kitchen paper, and you're ready to go with it. I've also got the Liz Gilt CJP brush, which I absolutely adore. I've had several of these over the years, and they are just the best. And it's okay to leave monomer on your brush, just don't leave any acrylic on them. That isn't a good idea. And I've also got the little 3D Precise brush, which is split a little bit in the middle, which is so annoying. I should have really put it in some boiling hot water if it splits like that in the middle. Can you see? That's kind of split there, but if that happens, 5 minutes in some boiling hot water will soon sort it out. So yeah, but we're fine. We're all good. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put down a layer of clear, and this is just to give the acrylic, just like you do with a base coat, to give the acrylic something to stick to. So I would imagine if you're doing acrylic nails, you know how to pick up a bead, so I'm not going to go into all that jazz today, but you can quite clearly watch me and see what I'm doing. So all I'm doing is placing a thin layer of clear acrylic onto the nail, and the reason for that will become apparent very shortly. So just spread it over the nail, and not got to worry about apexes and things like that, because obviously it's just pat and press. And it's just a matter of pushing it in and putting it into place. And remember to wipe your brush back into the monomer, wipe off that brush. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a little piece of this. I'm just going to work out what part of it that I want. And I'm going to place that into the wet acrylic. So I just want a little bit of this to go onto the nail. Just take that off like that. And I'm going to pop it into the wet acrylic. So as the nail's going this way, I'm going to put it in this direction, if that makes sense. Just push it on and let it dry. Now I'm going to cut some off, just around here, because I want to leave some space for the egg part. Just trim it off like that, and if you find it's not sticking, you can always just pop a bit of glue behind it. I want to peel this back a little bit, just as if it had just been opened like that. Now it will get covered with clear acrylic at the end, so not too worried about these extra bits at the moment. Just leave them where they are and press it in just like that. Okay, so we have this. So it's like a little upside down egg. We can always file that off later. Not worried about it at the moment. Now I want to keep that in place. I want to go back over this with just a little bit of clear gel, but only on the paper area. And that's just to hold it in place. So just grab a ball of it and pat, 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 gently, gently, gently. Just to hold it in place exactly how you want it to be. I love this design that I'm doing today. I have seen it done before, and that's why I wanted to have a go myself. You know, other people inspire us, don't they, to try things new. And I just thought this would be a really fun one for an early Easter. So let's just pop some in here so that we're supporting that bit of foil. Doesn't matter if you have to go over the edge of it, it's fine. But I don't want too much thickness around here. I just want to keep that even. So we're not going to be filing it particularly if I can help it, because the finish filing takes so long now. So I'm just going to let that be. I'm going to grab my Liz Guild brush because it's a bit smaller for the next part. Now, I'll just let that dry for now. The chocolate, this is amazing. This is just like chocolate. It's stunning. I'll pop this out the way for the time being. And especially when it dries matte, it just looks like chocolate. Because obviously it's darker than it is in the pot. I just want a little blob of that. And I just want to pop it in here. Just where I want it to go. Just like that. So I want this to look like I've just bit into the egg. I'm going to put another layer on top here. Just get the bubbles out of my brush, clean up. Just to make it a little bit thicker, because I want that chocolatey edge to look thick and cracked, bitten into, if you know what I mean. Get as much on there as I can without going over the paper. If you do kind of go over it, you can just clean it up with a bit of monomer like so. Let's take it off again. So as you can see, it's looking more and more like a bit of chocolate, isn't it? There we go. I'm going to once again, I'm just going to let that dry. This bit here is almost dry. Just pull that paper back out again. Okay, let's just clean off my brush. The next part we're going to do is the goo. So Let that dry just for a second or two before it's completely dry. So I don't know if you've noticed, but with the cream eggs, they have a little star shape indentation in them, which is a bit further down the egg. It's usually around about here, but they do have a bit of a line. So I want to carve that in to the chocolate colour. Just to show that it's there. There we go. Perhaps my knife isn't quite small enough, but at least it gives that suggestion. So yeah, there we go. I'm just going to pat that on because it's kind of come off just a little bit here. I want to make this more blunt, like cracked chocolate, so it's still kind of soft and moldable, as you can see. Look, so I can still kind of put it where I want it, like that. But the next bit we're going to do now is the goo. Well, that's drying. So with the goo, we need the nice white fondant colour. So I'm going to use Snow White. Now, Snow White behaves a little bit differently on the brush. You need to leave it a little bit longer on the end of the brush. And I'm going to use my tiny, tiny brush for this one because I don't want too much. And I want to make some little drips as well. So we'll just leave it on the brush till it's got that kind of, can you see, that orange peel texture? And then place it on the nail. Just let it sit there for a second or two before putting it into place. A little bit more marmer on my brush. Tap it off. I'll just pat and pull it out. Like so. Now I want some gooey drips because it never is that neat when you bite a cream egg, is it, guys? It's always everywhere and melty and yummy. I'm going to use a little tiny speck of yellow just at the very top before we continue. This represents the yolk. I just want the tiniest bit. Even painting it on in gel is quite acceptable. It just represents the middle part of that egg. So I hope I do this sweet justice because it is my favourite. And yeah, it's so yummy that, I mean, I want you to be thinking, oh my God, don't lick my fingers, they're going to taste of chocolate. Right. So we're back into the Snow White. So just grab a tiny bit once more. And this is where it could all go drastically wrong because this is the goo, guys. So I'm just going to bring it down here. Like a little drip. And if you do make any mistakes, I mean, you can always go after it with some white gel or yellow orangey gel at the end. It's not a problem. You can, you know, colour it in, do whatever you've got to do. I'm coming back up over that yellow just to kind of make it more mixed in rather than separate. Oh, I don't know about you, but my cream egg this morning was a bit messy and a bit sticky, but this just represents that white fondant, which is just so good. Yum. There we go, guys. I think I'm happy with that for the time being. So I'm going to leave that to just sit and dry. And once it's dry, once it's tappable, we can go back in and finish it off. But that's the thumbnail done. Look at that. I like it. Right, so next up, what we're going to do for the next nail is I'm going to make this one all chocolate. So we'll just be using the chocolate one. Or shall we? No, we'll do another one. I think we'll do another half chocolate egg. So once again, this has been wiped off. It's been primed and prepped and primed. And we don't need to go in with clear because we're not overlaying any paper onto this one. So I'm going to get my little slightly bigger brush, the Liz Guild one. I'll go back into the chocolate brown. Bring the nail round this way. So all we're doing is just patting and pulling into place. It is paint. It's not, this is not giving the nail any strength at all. I've got the black top are not going to give you any strength, which is why you would normally put a clear on below or on top of that, just to give it that strength. Just take that off my skin before I end up with a rash. It's not good. Okay, so this one is just going to be a whole Easter egg, a whole egg. And no wrapper, nothing like that, just an egg, because I've got a plan for it for after. So I'm going to let that just harden for a second or two. I think I will go over that with a clear. Let's do a clear top. Just encapsulate that colour in a little bit because I need to carve into it. So it's a very light touch. And I really don't want to be filing. I'm not going to be doing any filing today. This is just fun for funsies. At least not if I can help it. Right, so we'll leave that one to dry and do its thing. Just a little bit. I'm going to come back to this one now. I'm going to take it off this. I'm just going to trim up this paper around the. I'm just using an old one because, like I say, these are never going to be worn. So I just want to come in and just do the chocolate in the mat. Probably would be better using a smaller brush. I'll pop that in the lamp. Now we'll come back to this now. So what I wanted to do with this one was to carve out the shape, little star shape that's in it. that you get on a cream egg. So I'm going to go around like so. Right, and how are we doing with this one? So this one is done pretty much. So we just want a chocolate nail there. And I think I'm going to just put a little bit of paper over that and just make it purple. Yeah, why not? Okay. Or do the yellow. Yeah, I think I'll do some yellow. Okay. So we're just going to cut some of this out. I think what I'm going to do with this one this time is just glue it on. So let's get some nail glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here and pop it over it wherever I want it to go. Don't too much, just a little touch of glue. Pick that up with some tweezers. are just cheap UV carbon gels. Really think we need to mix it to make it the right colour, because that's too yellow, far too yellow. Ah, right, okay. That'll work. Right then. So I've got my little palette. I'm going to just get a little scoop of this gel. Yellow. A little bit yellow. And then we'll try a little bit of white and mix them together and see what we get. So that should be enough. So I'm just going to mix them. I shouldn't really be using my fingers, but I will wash my hands immediately afterwards. Okay. Let's use a spatula. It's not quite the yellow I was after, but it'll do because it won't be seen. It will be covered. Okay. So I want to have it. Well, not quite half, 2/3 and 1/3. Now, what I want to do next is that onto the nail. So I think I'm going to put it on this one because I'm not too happy with that one. Now I'm going to get a little gel brush. It's white. Little silicone tool. Okay. So we have this little chick. And I do want to put a little tiny tail on. So I'm just going to use my tool just to keep that right shape. There we go. A little cheeky tail. Just a little tiny wings, like so. There we go. And his little beak will be done in orange because it's just a little chicken. So I'm going to cure that just as it is right there. Then I have some gorgeous yellow fluffiness that we're going to put on him. my little chickadee. We're going to make a little fluffy chick. I'm just going to pop a little bit of base gel on. Here's my base gel. It's just the tiniest amount of gel because we don't want to lose the shape. We certainly don't want any on the cream egg. So, this is my little fluffy chick. Get my tweezers. And we're just going to pop some fluff on him. So I've never used this stuff before. This is new to me. So I'm just going to grab some, pop it on. Just make this wee chick fluffy. This little fluffy bobtail. Make sure it's completely covered and fluffed up. Top it off. Ooh, got a little unintended beak there. Let's take that off. Okay. I'm just gonna, because it's upside down, it's nowhere near the nail, I'm just gonna pop it in to get it even more fluff. Just so I can get a spatula. There you go. So I want this to look like feathers really. There we go. Make sure we get some on his little tail. Just pat it in where I want it to be really fluffy.